so we are back here once again with Ryan Wariner, and now we're gonna do metal. Dude,
just whatever it is, rock and still just a weird soup of stuff. But
it's super awesome. Okay, so we again share many of the same just heroes. We got the Van Halens, the Warren DeMartinis, the Lukethers.
Yeah,
but you can actually play it all.
I can fake it all.
Okay, so
all the Aussie guys, all the classics.
Dude, that's another whole bunch of awesome.
We could do that all day.
God, can you bring that back? Is it possible? I mean, would you
I hope
try?
Somebody does. I would try. I hope somebody does.
Okay, so
we got our trusty guitar.
Yeah, exactly.
Super rock guitar.
Dude, full rock guitar. Okay, and wait, we'll go into it a little bit later. Okay. But what I want to do is try to break down a good place to start, right? Mm-hmm. So you're gonna do some licks, but like the interval things that like Warren DeMartini does. I hear that in your playing, right?
Try.
So, well, no, I mean, right? He's got his gig, right?
He's the king.
He's the man, right?
He's one of the kings for sure.
Dude. But but always a very good mix of taste and technique, right?
Yeah. My friend Jay always says he's like the Billy Gibbons of the '80s.
Dude.
He's like does the Gibbons thing and then he puts in the '80s thing too.
Right. Yeah.
He's like Billy
That's
Gibbons,
a great description.
Like
yeah.
Yeah. That's I've. I give the credit to my buddy Jay on that.
Right.
We say that all the time.
Okay. Like, way to go, Jay. Jay's coined the phrase. So we're going to zoom in for a closer look and break down just some basic, it sounds crazy, but a lot of it's just pentatonic-based ripping.
Yeah.
And so we'll see, we'll get you to break that down and make it.
It all starts from there, and you just kind of put some feelers out.
Pixie dust.
Yeah, just some feelers out into other notes.
All right, cool. Let's zoom in for a closer look and check it out. Okay, so... I mean, where do you start? When you have the choices are Eddie and Warren, I mean, where do you go? We'll leave it up to you.
Man.
I mean, that's a tough call. I'm putting you on the spot. That's a hard one.
I'm sitting there going, man, nobody can really do Eddie but Eddie, or any of those guys for that matter. But his thing is just like so much.
Yeah, it's his own gig. Okay,
you have to have his hands, I guess. But there's some certain things like those pull off to open strings, like we talked about.
All right, let's do it.
Well, you can do it in different places, but there's always
do it up in the high, like where you were doing.
That kind of thing.
Yes. Okay, so what is it? Do it real slow though.
Well, it's kind of like.
Now, are you cheating and using your fingers too, or like?
No, not.
Okay.
I don't think.
All right.
Think about it. Well, it's kind of like starting from that same. If you're an E, that pentatonic one box. Or you're doing your 101 Southern Rock.
Yeah. Okay.
But you're doing that.
Oh, so you're pulling off to an open string.
That open beat. It just kind of sounds a little more wild and rocking.
Okay, so do.
That kind of.
You gotta remember, we're dealing with mere mortals here.
I think about that every day for myself. No, so in that pentatonic one box, and that same shape we're always talking about. But adding that.
Oh, so it's like the blues note or whatever.
Yeah. So it was. What was I doing?
Oh, okay. Okay. Aiming at the camera. For all the young kids out there. Okay, and then so you speed it now.
Speed it up, it just sounds really cool.
Are you picking it or are you?
I think I'm doing on this string. There's a pull off in there.
Yeah.
There's a pull off.
So where would you go with that? Obviously you wouldn't play it that long in a solo.
You could.
But yeah. Whoa, wait a second.
Something like that, I don't know. But it's the same kind of shape that moves up.
Can you break down any of that? Or is it just, are you in the spirit?
You can break it down. But it's the same shape, you just move it up. That's what we're doing. Same same. You're
Okay.
going. It translates right to the next two strings.
And then how did you come down out of that?
Something like that.
So that's almost Eric Johnson-y on the way back.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I've listened to him a ton too.
Yeah.
Love that stuff.
Dude.
Yeah, that if you want to do Eric Johnson, that's kind of how you do it.
Okay, so we're gonna mix. We're gonna do
it's
Eric,
all a mix.
Eric Van Halen.
It's all a mix. But I'm just meaning that bit.
Yeah.
It's Eddie style. But it's not saying it's an Eddie lick.
Right.
You may not find it.
Yeah.
Exactly
No, but
right.
that's what we're shooting for.
Yeah. It's just that same.
Okay. But come down out of that. Like what would
Let
be?
me think. What was I doing?
Yeah. Okay. So what is that?
There's a little Warren stuff in there too.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Slower.
we're still in that box.
Yeah.
So. Something like that. That's right.
That's the first. Yeah. It's funny because that's people's default bend is that 14th fret, and Eddie always does it in that first finger.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Love it.
sounds so good. Yeah.
And then you're back down. You can go down to that. You're in that other pentatonic position. You can go. Or whatever you're
What
back.
was that?
So you can kind of once you hold that first one, that bend.
Yeah.
Then my brain switches to I'm thinking here now.
Okay, great. Well, that was a killer lick.
Yeah.
What
So
was it?
like so. Something like that. You know what I mean?
I want you to teach one and then you do another killer one.
I know. Because I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, right.
So yeah.
Okay, so come do the fifth position. Okay, do just that. Oh, so you throw a little chromatic in there too.
Yeah. Right there. I would like a little chromatic bits here and there. Probably look at their influence, but there's plenty of guys that do that killer. But it's like.
Okay, slow down, dude. Oh, nice.
It's really, you can get it smooth and it feels like it's really speeding by, but it's cool slow.
Okay,
dude.
but that's the thing is, I think one of the things that attracts me to how you play guitar is it's not the licks, it's fluid. So how do you get that fluidity?
I think that's a lot of. I think it is. I think it's just a lot of hours.
Yeah.
I think it's just like doing it a bunch.
Yeah.
But like, that to me, I think that's what it is. There's a lot of repetition.
Yeah.
But
so you play a lot, apparently.
When I'm
right.
maybe not as much as I should,
Yeah.
but I do. Yeah.
Come on, you got a gig on the road too, so it's only practice so much, right?
Yeah. But
okay, so
that kind of thing though, I think it's just repeating that motion to get to where your fingers are used to making that motion.
Yeah, and then it's just sped up basically.
Yeah. You can end it, go somewhere else, or just put a tag on it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay, so take the same box and like, what would be an example of kind of like a Warren style lick? Because he hops around intervals.
Yeah.
A bunch, which
So
is
cool.
my favorite thing that he does.
Well, he's right here.
Other than
Well, even in the same, like right in the shape of that box, we're doing that Eddie-ish thing we were doing. That was.
Yeah.
Those. You can do Warren stuff right in there, like he does a bit that's kind of this is in the vein of, like.
What was that?
I mean, but it's the same.
Yeah.
We're just mixing the notes up on the same exact thing.
But the the intervals are different.
He jumped over we jump over the. Yeah. So that's the same pull off lick we're used to. Yeah, but to that same note we did with Eddie thing. That's it. So, you go back.
What's that? Dude, one more time, super slow.
All right. great sound.
Yeah. So, if you're gonna kind of carry that down or up, like what would be like an example of that kind of interval jumping around, but like moving up?
I would still do that kind of sound there, and then maybe still kind of connect the dots, if you will, with those pentatonic positions that you always talk about.
Yeah. So let's just say you're geeking around doing that kind of stuff. Like, what would be some examples of what you would do?
Let me see. I mean, think
I'm
about
about to put you on the spot.
Yeah. Well, it's okay. You already did. No. Let me see here.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So. Same. It's interesting because it's the same spot that you're using, but when you went down to the 5th position or whatever it was, what did you do? So we did the Eddie lick right there. What was the example of what you?
Like, you mean when we were here?
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of went back to that. So we. Kind of went back to that same kind of thing we did a minute ago. We just used change.
Okay, you know what? That's cool. Like the chromatic kind of stuff. Like, what would you? How do you do that kind of interval jumping, going from low to high though? Like, what's the?
It's kind of that skipping the string thing.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's but usually, or at least skipping a note or two, like. And so. Kind of thing. Yeah, you can skip instead of like we were going to there. Yeah. We're doing the chromatic. So instead of me go.
Dude, what was okay? Dude.
So you just kind of get some pull-offy notes in there, and it sounds really cool. But yeah.
Okay, do that super slow.
So we're in that same shape.
Yeah. Nice.
Instead of
such a cool interval sound.
Instead of doing that. You do those kind of repetitive. So
sneak your fingers in there.
I did on that. Sometimes it just makes it easy.
Dude,
otherwise you're just sitting there,
I remember back in the day, I took like 2 or 3 lessons from Greg Howe, which I could learn. I was just
that
like,
guy,
dude.
man. Ooh.
But anyways, I remember him picking so much and doing all this stuff, and then I remember going in and actually watching him right there. And he was doing and he's like, dude, why? At this point, why fight it? It's so much easier just to.
That's kind of something like your question earlier. Everything gets a little smoother sounding when you pick less.
Yeah.
Like there's a bit. I saw Eric Johnson, back to him one time, where he was talking about doing those. He was like, there's a one way, it sounds one way.
Right.
Yeah, that's within. Whatever. Sometimes you want that pick.
Right, that attack.
You want that real tacky thing.
Sure.
Like Zach Wild does that.
Right.
Killer,
I remember, do you know who Frank Marino is?
Oh, I love Frank.
I remember hearing Zach, I was a huge Zach fan. My buddy's like, dude, you gotta go listen to Frank Marino. I heard him do Mahogany Rush live or something.
Oh, I know that record.
And he does Johnny Be Good. And he just starts doing something.
I heard of him because I read an interview with Zach where he was like, Frank Marino's the guy. I was like, I better listen to this guy. And I did and went, does somebody play like that in the 70s?
Oh my God. I'm just ripping so hard.
I know. I'm a King Bee and all that.
Oh, dude, King Bee, that's right.
I was like, who plays like this in the 70s? Well, Michael Schenker.
He's so good. Yeah, but Schenker didn't do it to that.
No, it's a different thing.
Yeah.
Those are two guys that when you listen, you go, they're playing out of the decade.
His stuff
they're playing a decade ahead.
Hard. Schenker stuff's hard to play.
So you got to get into that. They're also kind of, I feel like it's always that. Yeah. I'm just like, doing my thing, but I'm trying to get, like I said to you earlier, like
Yeah.
it's really the same stuff, but you're trying to think like the other.
Sure.
Like I think like I watched him, and I always saw his hands like this a lot, so I would do.
Yeah.
When I think of him, I start going like that. Whatever. Something like that.
Right.
But like that Strangers in the Night record.
Yeah.
Anybody should listen to that. Who hasn't.
So good. So, is there anything you do like so? Obviously, getting the licks down, but is there something that when you're trying to cop a style like that, it's more than that, right? It's like how they bend, the feel, like
Yeah.
how
Well,
do you personally get that feel? Do you like just?
I
slow
tend
it
to always
down
end up bending the stuff like I do.
Yeah.
Not like I wish I would nail that closer to those dudes.
Yeah, but that one thing you put on Instagram with that Van Halen song, I mean, dude, that's freaking nailed it.
I worked on that for a minute. It wasn't just on the spot.
Right.
But yeah, it's really just listening close.
Yeah.
And then
So do you slow stuff way down and then like just nuance it out, or?
sometimes,
Yeah.
not all the time, but sometimes. But like usually, you kind of decide if you're really trying to get it like somebody else's.
Yeah.
Like if you're playing an AC/DC thing and you really want to get that, you want to get that Angus's whole body.
Sure. Yeah.
But other times, I'm just like, I'm just going to do my thing and get my feel onto the.
Right. So, in developing your own style, do you spend a lot of time learning stuff, actually note for note, or you just kind of get the idea of what they're doing and then do it your own way?
I do the idea of way. I've got friends that like have learned stuff note for note, and I love that.
Yeah.
And I'm envious of that a lot.
But it's not your own thing at that point.
I just always was like, I want to get, and it always bugged me that I couldn't sound like them.
Yeah, but that's what Eddie said too.
I was always like, why can't I sound like this? I'm playing it.
Right.
But doing your own thing, they own like I'll get the vibe.
Yeah.
I just think about like what they were thinking about, or what they were going for, and just kind of get in that ballpark.
Right.
So if I do something like I said, if I'm wanting to get an Angus ballpark, and I'm going.
Yeah.
But then other times you're wanting to do.
So what would be an example of how Warren or Eddie would bend? Like what would, that you would kind of.
Well.
Warren especially, because he does those really ripping fast runs and then like really will melt.
Oh man, he's
so good.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think where we were at up here.
Yeah.
Like he'll kind of be playing up to the tempo or kind of speeding away on that kind of thing. But then he'll kind of hit the, like pull the gear back and kind of
right. So like bending up, holding it, and then a little vibrato.
Yeah, and really letting it breathe. Billy Gibbons kind of vibe, Like that, really jerking it back and like pulling the throttle back on it.
Right.
He does that one a lot.
How do that? What is that? So break it down real slow, like
So 12, 15, 17, 19.
Yeah.
They kind of let that sing. That's kind of a Warren type of thing too. I mean, he might disagree. He might be like, "You're not doing that right at all." But in my mind,
it's Ryan Martini.
It's a good place to stop and hang.
Yeah.
And then get back into whatever. I like to stop on that one a lot too.
Yeah.
Out of that position where we were going. The little comet. I can hold on that one a lot. Yeah. I mean, just hang there and you kind of feel like this for a minute, then you're back into whatever.
Dude, and how's this little freaking Yamaha practice amp?
This is the best hotel room amp I've found by a mile.
Dude, that is so awesome. That thing sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So what's up with the guitar? What's in the? You don't play with high output pickups, right?
I don't have anything with it now. I have,
So that's like an 8, right? I mean, you were saying
this is a pickup that it's the only pickup I've even heard of this company. It's called Bare Knuckle in England. It's called the VH2, and it being a complete nut of a band.
I'm just gonna buy it.
Like it's called the VH2. I've got to hear it.
Right.
Duncan makes some things that are in that realm, and I've played, and they're great.
Yeah.
I've used a bunch of their stuff.
Yeah.
For this guitar, I put this together because there wasn't.
Because you have to have one.
There wasn't a guitar exactly the way I wanted for this kind of stuff.
Right.
So we spent a while kind of getting this designed a little bit. It's basically taking a little element of so-and-so's, a little Van Halen, a little, Warren, whatever.
Yeah.
But this, I just thought I'll try this pickup in it because we all change pickups tons.
For sure.
And I'm notorious for changing pickups all the time.
Yeah.
But this one, it was the absolute just, grace of the universe.
Yeah, just home run.
A home run. Like we put it together, put this one in, going, I hope this is cool.
Yeah.
And it's never come out.
What's in the front?
This is a DeMartini.
DeMartini, which one?
It's one of those virtual vintage.
Yeah.
I
love DeMartini.
It's called the Heavy Blues.
Yeah.
It's truly.
What's it sound like?
Truly, the only reason I put it in because it was like the single neck thing is the Warren DeMartini.
Sure. Oh, dude, you got
And I just tried to find a pickup hot enough that it wasn't because most when I'm playing a real Strat, I want traditional Strat output pickups.
For sure.
This was just finding one hot enough that didn't get eaten up by this.
Yeah.
And just because for the nature of this guitar, I was going to be playing a lot of high gain.
Yeah.
I was just like, we better get a noiseless.
Yeah.
But it's as quiet as.
I love the one they did for the Ingve pickup. Back in the HS3 or whatever.
HS3 and the HS YJM or something like that. Yeah, it's kind of. It's not super traditional Strat sounding, but it's just meant for but it's
rock.
It's quiet.
What's it sound like? Let's hear it.
It's actually quieter than.
Nice. Oh, it does that 80s.
It's got that.
Nice hollow, cool.
Yeah, and it was just kind of.
What is that one again?
It's the Virtual Vintage Heavy Blues.
Nice.
And I think it's normally meant to maybe be a bridge pickup.
Yeah.
But I thought I kind of read. I did a lot of internet geeking, and it looked like it was going to match with this. And
Dude, that thing sounds killer.
I know. Even with the little tail amp we're using.
Ah, dude, that's amazing.
But yeah, it's just kind of. So it worked out. This guitar has been another friend of mine.
Yeah.
He always says this guitar sounds way better than it should for how it looks because he's not into the '80s thing like we are. So he's like, it's got a black Floyd Rose.
Yeah. And everyone's like, Floyd Rose has killed the tone. I was like, really?
Then you plug it in, you go, oh, that sounds great.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Right.
And I put one of these big brass blocks on it, which like Warren does, and all of these guys. There's a place called Floyd Upgrades.
Yeah.
FU. They're called FU. And they make these killer brass upgrade blocks.
Interesting.
And you can see it's like this huge.
Oh, dude, it's monstrous.
Yeah,
it's like twice as thick.
But if you look at their site, and there's like a roster of everybody playing them. It's every single guy that owns a Floyd Rose guitar that you love is playing them. It's like everybody.
Yeah.
And Warren.
Because the guitar, the tone is good on that guitar.
And it's not like it's a poplar body, which a lot of snobby guys think is junk.
Yeah.
They call that junk wood or whatever. Sounds killer.
Doesn't sound like junk.
No, and
what's the neck? Is the neck's not too thick, but what's the radius?
It's the radius. It's like I kind of designed it to sort of be in between. I didn't want to go super flat.
Yeah.
It's a 10-inch radius.
Uh-huh.
And the neck shape is from this company called Musicraft. They make necks and bodies and stuff. And the neck shape is actually like the EVH shape. They have the CAD design of that of that EVH radius not the radius but the neck shape. So I'm looking through the scroll down menus to get the neck.
Van Halen pickup, Van Halen neck.
Done. So
dude, it does sound really good though.
And it actually does sound good, not just super hot through the little practice amp. If you're playing a vintage Marshall, it can just and an SG through a vintage Marshall or something.
Oh, dude, that you gotta love that.
Yeah, it's
have
pretty
your cake
awesome.
and eat it too.
Exactly. And it's copper, which is a color I always loved. So,
there you go.
It's like silver tone copper, but it's a little more high performance than a silver tone. But yeah, this is a fun guitar that it shows up a lot more than even when I built it, I was like, this is just for fun, for ripping this kind of stuff. It comes out all the time. It's a guitar, I'm on tracks well, we need a rock guitar solo. It's like, well, here we go. So.
Well, you know, I got something that might work.
Yeah, so it's awesome, and it's, you know, this and the little practice amp. It's a great couch rig.
What is that? It's a Yamaha what?
It's the Yamaha.
People aren't gonna believe it's this tiny. It
TH10.
It doesn't show, but it's like this big.
Yeah.
It just sounds so good.
It's the one with the metal handle, the lunchbox.
A little lunchbox.
It's called the TH10.
Yeah.
And I've got word that there's a newer model that's like way better. This is the original one's a cream color. This one's cream. There's a green one out that I want to check out.
Green machine.
It's supposed to be the one, and it's got like these. It's supposed to have like some more like amp models in it and stuff.
Okay.
But this thing, you know,
that amp model's all they need.
Like I said, and it cleans up decent. You know, this guitar, like with the telly, it cleans up pretty good. You know, dude, I could go awesome. Way quieter. We could sit in a hotel room at 2 a.m. and not bother anybody, and I've done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yamaha TH10, I think is what it's called.
Sick.
Yeah, practice amp to the whoever.
Secret weapon.
Yeah, secret weapon. Yeah.
Worn in a box. All right, it's good enough for me. Sweet.
I wish it came with, you know, a tab for every single thing you ever did.
Isolated tracks. Like,
oh, yeah.
Oh, jeez, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. Killer, man. Yeah. Dude. Like I said, the Encyclopedia of Ryan is coming soon. I mean, bro, it's just endless. Like, I'm just laughing over here in the corner, like, I just play some stuff, and it's just like, oh my god, dude.
We're gonna have to go door to door for this too.
So if you guys, I'm gonna put up some extra clips that he didn't know when I was filming, and I'll put it at the end. So make sure. Oh, actually, you'll have seen this by now, but I'll put it after this.
Okay.
Put down the timing of the licks that you like the best, and so I'll put a little smattering at the end, and just let me know time parameters. Next time we come back, we'll have them break them down.
That I can do.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time, and that was awesome.
Cool.